Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you that are supporting my channel. It means so much to me. If you're new and you like what you see today, please do me a big favor and just push the subscribe button and the like, and feel free to comment at any time, because I thoroughly enjoy and am passionate about what it is that I'm doing, and just really want to resonate with as big a tribe as possible. I'm going to blow it up and have, an all-inclusive, like-minded, perpetual spiritual students like myself coming back every month. And so I've started my new love series and Connections. And basically what that is, my format as of now, ever changing, is I like to pick 2 sun signs for the day. And it's general, and it's specifically the sun signs I'll be reading for. And then I like to do a little bit of a breakdown on each sign and their personality and traits. And then I go into why I believe they're beautifully matched for each other, because it's all about the positive in this realm and in my channel, and upliftment and maybe clarity on certain things, encouragement, hopefully, and just kind of a new twist to something you may not have known. And then I'm going to then read tarot energies for the remainder of the month as a couple for the 2 of you, and a couple of beautiful oracle divination messages that I use. That I'm basically a conduit for them, and the messages come specifically for you, which I love. So let's get started. Today, I randomly tossed the dice. I do it ahead of time now just in case I get repeats and just to save a little time. But the 2 sun signs are Gemini and Sagittarius. Woohoo! So I love that. This has a lot of meaning to me when I toss that. And bear in mind, there's no gender association for either sign. So the Sagittarius or the Gemini can be female or male, it doesn't matter. And when I speak of love, I speak of course, that significant other, that beautiful attraction you have with this other person, be it friendships, work relationships, lovers, or literally animals, because a lot of times we resonate with animals better than we do other animals. And you want to know why it is you feel that way about these people that are in our life now. What's brought them to us? What is that attraction about? So for all the years I've studied, hopefully I can give you a little more insight into that. Now, let's start with the Gemini. Interesting, because Gemini, we're in Gemini season. So happy birthday, every one of you Geminis. I love you. Unfortunately, I had a sister I lost last year, Gemini. I have a brother, Gemini. I have a mother who's right on the cusp. I have a lot of friends that are Gemini. And I'm a sister air sign, so I get your vibe. I absolutely love your lighthearted, beautiful energy that... Well, before I get too far, you are the sun sign, meaning you're born, of course, your personality, and you are an air element. And you also are a mutable sign, which means that you're very capable of adapting to pretty much any circumstance, which I love. And you also are a masculine sign, which, doesn't mean you're masculine. It's just all of the 12 signs are divided into masculine or feminine, and you fall under the masculine. And what else can I say about you? You are ruled by the planet Mercury. So that is all about communication and commerce. And that's exactly who you are. The only thing I've ever known about Geminis is their incredible ability to communicate. I don't know one Gemini that I've met that doesn't know pretty much everything about everything. Not everything, I should say. You know a little bit about everything, and sometimes a lot. It depends on where your real passion is, I would imagine, because you will dissect and go deep into that subject. And you will be an amazing communicator in expressing that particular subject or topic. You are amazing at teaching. You are great writers, because once again, this is about the ability to communicate. And so there's all different mediums. I love your changeable and adaptable personality. I mean, your energy is like none other that I meet on a regular basis, because there's just this, it's just this high kind of whoa, you got to keep up with you sometimes, you know, but it's exciting. And you're all about love, and you're all about truth, and you love fairness, and you love good friendships, and you can be a little fickle, and like I said, changeable, but it keeps us on our toes, and very witty, and just, I don't know, it makes me smile, because I've had so many Geminis I laugh with, and you love to laugh, you love to have a good time, and you're very giving and caring, and intelligent, very analytical. The air signs are all about the brain, so they're just going to be thinking things through a lot. They really rely on their thoughts to be able to navigate and kind of strategize any circumstance in their lives. You know, it's all about the cerebral thing for the Gemini. So that's beautiful. And let's see, what can I say? So then you have the Sagittarius. Sagittarius, of course, is the fire element. And I think I just did the reading yesterday. Yes, the love series with Aries and Sagittarius, both being the same element. Amazing, but this is about you. Sagittarius is the optimist, the incredible fire, passionate, motivated, adventure sign of the zodiac. And it is all about higher learning and education and communication and speaking and law and truth. And you see that immediate kind of understandable attraction between the two of you. But there's more. So we have the fact that, once again, the element of Sagittarius is fire. So there's that passion, there's action, there's kind of a non-stop energy that will continue to fuel and needs to be tamed at times, you know, because I think it's important for all of us to recognize any aspect of ourselves has to reach a temperance. Speaking of which, the Temperance Tarot card represents the sign of Sagittarius. So there is always that inner desire to kind of keep things balanced, and it's basically what they call an alchemist, you know, somebody that can change water into wine and just kind of make things change. The Sagittarius, as represented, you know, in the symbol of the Sagittarius, is half horse and half man with an arrow. So they have this determination, and when they point that arrow, they are going to reach it, and by hook or by crook, nothing really stops them. They fully believe they will reach their goals. I find there's a lot having to do as well with Sagittarius and travel. They love travel. So does Gemini. They love, once again, opening new doors, you know, breaking past barriers. They don't like to be stuck. They don't like to be conformed. Both of the signs are very independent, which works perfectly for each other. Because a lot of times you don't want, if you're an independent person and you like having your alone time, you love being in a partnership, you love that, but you need that time to, you know, to have your own interests per se, or maybe just time alone, you know, not for any other reason. Being with someone else that gets that and wants that as well is basically one of the best matches you can have, and that's what you find with the Gemini Sagittarius. So I can honestly tell you, in my years of study and documentation, as I say, because I've documented, for example, I've had day spas. I'm a massage therapist, and the people that come in, they fill out a form and they put in their birthday. Time and time again, the same friendships will come in together. You know, the same partners who want couples massages. It's just, and then just taking notes through my life of my own personal friendships and circles. This is a beautiful one that I didn't notice at first as a combination. And now I see it almost more than a lot of others. And the important thing is that it's my friends that have lasted in the test of time as far as their marriages or their friendships. I mean, to me, they can be lifelong relationships. So I love saying that to you. I fully believe it, and I've seen it. And of course, I don't think I mentioned this in the other videos, but you have to always keep into account that the male of either sign, Gemini or Sagittarius, versus the female is always going to be different. When I'm reading these characteristics, there's always going to be the difference because of the mere fact of the testosterone versus estrogen, right? I mean, that alone is very apparent in each sign. So you can have the same birthday as your spouse or friend, opposite sex, and you're going to be different. But that in itself kind of complements each other. And I don't want to forget to mention that you, as a Gemini and Sagittarian couple, are polar opposites, okay? And when I say that, what I mean is if you check out your birth chart, and I highly encourage everybody to do that, it's for free. Just click on astro.com or what is the other one? Cafe Astrology. Plug in the information and find out what all 12 planets that you and your partnership may have in common, you know, because the sun sign is what I'm reading today. That's your personality, that's your likes, you know, how you like to be seen, the kind of food you like, the places you like to travel. So we're talking about that kind of compatibility. But then if you see similar compatibility or the same signs in moon, that's about their passions and their emotions, how they deal with things. Rising, the exact time you're born, is about your destination, your destiny, your purpose, how people do see you, and so on and so forth. It's just that much more depth into who you are, because we're all such incredible, intricate people with so many layers. And then, of course, like I've said before, the way you're raised, you know, nature versus nurture, and how you're, you know, where you were raised, your religious beliefs, all of those factor into it. That creating different aspects to the generalization that I'm speaking of. But on a straightforward basis, the polarity there is a beautiful one where you fulfill each other's differences. And there's very much complementary energy with you. So I love this for you. I'm glad that you've met, and I can honestly say I feel like if for some reason you drift apart, you will never forget each other, and I feel like you will remain friends. I mean, I feel like it can usually start, it can be passionate right off the bat as well, but I feel like it's one of those relationships that is definitely based on a friendship, which in my mind can last far longer than lust, you know, and it can stand the test of time, but it's a beautiful one. And you're both beautiful souls, so it makes sense you would meet. It can be very karmic. You may have met many lives before. But I want to go a little deeper now before I read your tarot for the month. It's very, very interesting that I pulled your two signs, because besides the sun season in Gemini and birthday season through the 20th of this month, there is the changing of the nodes. And the nodes, with being simplistic here, are the parts of the astrology and our lives that affect our future, our purpose, our soul purpose, going forward, like the North Star, and then the South Node being our past, things we want to release, things we don't want to keep with us karmically, you know, moving into the remainder of your life and then further to other lives, if that's what you believe in. And so those have changed. And now from the Cancer-Capricorn combination, also polar opposite, you have Gemini in the North Node and Sagittarius in the South. So it's incredibly powerful. There you are, the two of you. And so that'll continue on till the end of 2021. The last Capricorn lunar eclipse being next month on the 4th or 5th, I believe. And then that'll be it until another 13 years, I believe, or whatever. So the power of the two of you in that regard, and you know, the far-reaching philosophical aspects of Sagittarius, and you know, just the truth seeking and the be able to freedom of speech and justice in their realm, and then you, Gemini, being about communication and how we can best be perceived by people, how we can connect more with people, be it internet or in person, which of course is happening slowly and will happen again. All of what's happening now is of course a huge, incredible soul lesson, but it's something that we will come out of and adjust to, like we do everything in life. And so there's those two very powerful things. And then we had the full moon eclipse in Sagittarius on the 5th of June, just last week. So that was about changes and starting over and beginnings, and once again about travel, even if it's not literally or figuratively. It's about, the traveling in our mind. Where are places we've wanted to go? Or maybe planning a wonderful vacation between the two of you for when things open up and we're able to do that again, because you love to travel. And then truth, there's a lot being said right now. We're all feeling it. It's still occurring as I speak in real time. The absolute changes that are needing to occur, but that I believe will absolutely occur like never before, and to what speed I can't say, but moving forward and having that truth and that justice and the strength of that energy with your signs, coupled with who you already are. It's going to be an explosive and beautiful, beautiful month, and so transformational. And then the last eclipse of the month will be on the 21st of June, the first day of summer. And that's going to be in Cancer, and it's going to be all about our heart chakras and our relationships and the love we feel for each other and the commitments we have and the desire to get stronger or release. When new beginnings require endings, it's always for the best. I'm not seeing that at all for you two. I'm just saying that those are possibilities, and it's all going to be perfect. So I love that you're a couple. I really feel that you understand where I'm coming from about this, because you wouldn't be together or have these friendships that you've acquired probably more than once if you were to look back in your history and think, who do I really gravitate? Who have I on a more regular basis? You might be very, very surprised to find out there's probably 2 or 3 signs that will continually be part of your life. And that's divinely guided, and it's astrologically, mathematically and scientifically an incredible study and factual reality for a lot of people. So let's do the reading and just see what the predominant energies are going to be for June. Starting today is the 8th of June, 2020. And it could go further, because when we have the eclipses, they can affect a specific part of our life for upwards of 6 months. And I do want to mention also, Gemini, we've had Venus in your sign in retrograde now to the 24th of this month. So that's all about relationships. That's about perfecting and deepening and taking it to different levels and reevaluating and rediscovering. And it just feels really romantic and light and beautiful, which we need right now. And even if it's not somebody in your immediate surroundings, it's somebody you're interested in and you're wanting to go further and get to know more about. And I see that very strongly for you. So beautiful, beautiful combination. Let's see what Spirit has to say in the tarot for all of the Gemini and Sagittarius couples and connections. Ooh, that one wanted to come out. I'm not sure where it went. Oh, it's right on top. Nope, it's not on top, but I'm going to keep that there because I want to share something with you. Let me just pull a couple of these here. See what we have to say. Wow, right off the bat. A lot of air. Okay. Man, you have so many air. Yes, okay, I like it though. It's showing how strong you are in your energy, specifically Gemini, which makes sense because it's your time, it's your solar return for the whole year ahead. And all of these powerful planetary aspects have so much to do with the transformation going on for you. But as a couple, on the bottom, I wanted to share with you that you have the Queen of Pentacles. That's a foundation for the two of you. Whoops. Bear with me. As a couple and just kind of the way you're feeling and strong energy with you moving towards this and forward in the month, and that is the Pentacles, the earth quality. That has to do with your money, all the practical, grounded kind of aspects, you know, your job, your, I don't know, the food you're eating, how you're taking care of your body, your gardens, you know, the fundamental things, your family, your ties, your connections. And it's feeling really strong, and it's feeling really, really maternally guided right now, because you have the Queen, and the Queen is about taking care and providing and making sure that everything is just as it needs to be. And there's a lot of abundance in this, and there's a lot of prosperity that comes with the Queen. So I see that you're maybe already have been working this whole time when a lot of us are laid off. Obviously there's a few, and that's not for everybody, but I see a lot of active action, so that if you were at home, you still managed to continue to thrive in some area that's going to bring in money and going to keep it solid and flowing. You know, you're keeping that law of attraction going. So that's beautiful. As a couple, you're probably working together. You're brainstorming, you know, and figuring out what you can do. I do feel a strong sense, as I mentioned before, with Sagittarius, a possibility of a move into another home, another direction, possibly people moving in that weren't there before. There's definitely some kind of movement. It could have to do with work when it comes to the Pentacles. That's about, you know, job and structure and daily kind of activities. But the Queen presents just beautiful, beautiful, flowing, predominantly prosperous energy and love. So I love that for your foundation as a couple. And so let's start with the energies that are really kind of predominant right now. And you've got 3 cards in the air quality with the swords. So let's start with the 2 of Swords. There's a crossroads. There's some definite energy about making decisions. There's a couple, that could be the 2 of you. You may have been getting information. You're excited because it's this newness, this prosperity. So it has to do with, well, your thoughts and making a decision, making up your mind, feeling good about it, working as a team to come up with this understanding and this arrangement that is going to be the best for both of you. And I don't know what that is. Of course, that could go on so many different levels, but it starts with your thinking and your strategizing, and with a retrograde season into effect right now, and then with a total of 6 planets retrograde by, I don't know, the 24th or something of the month. You're not going to go forward yet. I mean, you might have made steps. It might have been something you've had in your mind for a while, and that's okay to continue to go forward with the details and the fine-tuning, but still kind of questioning some things until you get some real straight, clear, decisive kind of communication on this. You know, it could be a loan, it could be, well, it does have to do with money. It has to also possibly with law, and you want to make sure you're preparing the paperwork, or, you know, finalizing whatever it is in regards to it. And then I would say July will be when everything opens up after the new moon eclipse at the end of the month. So you're working together though, and that's what I love to see. Anytime you see the 2s, it's about partnership. Staying strong, you know, staying true to each other, communicating the things that need to be spoken of. And then the next card is the 5 of Swords. So yeah, you've had some difficulty with outside influences. I mean, I think we can all agree on that right now. We have a lot of conflicting circumstances, and, you know, if you're alive and breathing, you're feeling it. And I think the 2 of you definitely are very, very affected by the realities and the absolute need for the change and the the truth to prevail and for justice and equality to finally be noticed and action being taken with it. So the thoughts are there, you're hearing these conflicting circumstances, but you have to stay true to what you two believe. And by the new moon, with this beautiful new moon, like I said, eclipse, you will surmise and come up with what you believe to be the best for yourselves, and you'll stand true to that. And you're always available to others to talk to and to kind of, just to make them feel better and more at peace. So you're working at not taking in too much of this external influence, because it's harsh and it's hard sometimes. You need to find the balance in ourselves to be the better people for others. And to be able to come to other people's aids, which is what you love to do. I mean, you're strong in that. You're great when it comes to that. So there's that influence too, just to be aware and just know that, sometimes you think, is it me feeling that? Am I really thinking that? Or am I just, you got to actually stop, take time for yourselves, go to beaches now that are opening up and take that nature. And you both love nature a lot. I mean, I know that as well. I didn't mention that, but you just love the natural and the sun and the fresh air and the simple things, And then you have, the next card is the Major Arcana, so you have the Hangman. I like the Hangman a lot, and for a long time I saw it as one specific thing. It is the Major Arcana, like I said, and it does represent the sign of Pisces. So interestingly enough, we have one of the big retrogrades will be Neptune, and it'll be in Pisces. So you're feeling the influence already, because we start to feel the pulls and the energetic tugs when these big outside planets are making changes, and it will go into retrograde, I want to say, the latter part of the month. I don't know specifically, close to the 27th maybe or something. Don't quote me on that. However, what I'm trying to say is Neptune is the planet of fantasy and sometimes confusion, okay? So what was confusing, and obviously has been for many people, you two will discern for yourselves and recognize as it goes retrograde, becoming more internal. You'll clear the decks, and you'll figure out with your communication what it is that you see as being the truth for you. And also, when you see the Hangman, it's about a different perspective. He's hanging upside down, so he's seeing things in a different way, and that might be just the ticket that you've been asking for, and to be able to understand more and to bring that clarity. Not only in just life in general, but in your relationship, if there's something that seems or has seemed obscure to you. This is a time to really discuss it and to clear it and to release it, so that you have that clear, beautiful, energetic, loving guidance with you, And then lastly, you see the beautiful halo. So this person in this position is not at all uncomfortable. In fact, I think this introspection I speak of, that the time for you two to kind of get together with yourselves and spend that quality time if you can, while things are still slow and not even close actually to being what we're used to, but as things are opening up, this time for introspection together is going to be invaluable. And it's going to be really passionate and loving and super important for your relationships. I like that a lot. And then we have one more sword. So this is just about, once again, just this constant reminder for the two of you, the Seven of Swords, being very clear on what you believe to be gossip, just blatantly non-truths that are being spoken of. People saying things just to say them, and with no real genuine, heartfelt kind of energy behind it. So just staying clear of that, knowing that you don't have to be fearful. That never really actually helps any of us, and there's been a lot of that as well. I know I kind of get a little caught up in that, and I stop myself, because it's not good for you as in general, but just as a whole, it never actually creates that beautiful forward motion that we want. It kind of keeps us in a confined state. So we're going to protect your thoughts and your actions with people that maybe not have the best intentions. Stay away from gossip. Not a good thing, not something you want to be involved in. Retrograde Mercury, your planet Gemini, is happening on the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are, through next month, July 12th. So communication, and that's your forte, as we've spoken of. It's going to get a little dicey, maybe between your relationship. Just make sure you're not oversensitive and that you haven't said something that you didn't mean at all. Just explain yourself maybe. And if you send a text or an email, double check it. Because, there's plenty of times I know I've sent something else and then it comes back and it's like, that's not at all the word I meant to use. Autocorrect, whatever it is. It's a time to really, really double check that. Just to kind of keep that lighter energy, which is what you need because it's your season and it's your relationships and you want them to thrive and you don't need outside influences that are not to your highest good. So those are the focal energies, but I love it because they're guiding you and they're explaining to you that you yourself have that energy and you can work with it at all times. We have free will. And you may not resonate with this at all, certainly not now, maybe later, maybe in little pockets. The thing about the air quality, as well as I should mention, you might be involved with the other sister air signs in your relationships, in your family, in things that are affecting you as a couple. Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So we've got Aquarius retrograde in Saturn right now. And we have the moon in Aquarius later tonight. A lot of air. So, maybe surrounding ourselves with people like that and friends and stuff. And that we don't normally, and that they're more an influence in our lives right now. But the predominant message is that you each can be completely at peace with yourselves when you have that communication open. Communication is key in any relationship. And you're working together, and I feel that strength. So that's super powerful. I'm going to finish your reading with a couple of beautiful oracle messages that are specifically for you as a couple during the month of June. They are so incredibly healing and powerful in reminding us of just how incredibly important we are and divinely guided in our lives as co-creators. Whoops, there's yours. I want to say altar, but I don't have my glasses. I'll read it in just 1 second. And then the last one is the super manifestation oracle message, which I love so much because it shows how you too can create that life you truly want because you're feeling it into manifestation. You're going from thought to feeling and then tangible, physical proof. Let me just do, well, you've got two. And there's two of you, why not? And they're both green and it's about the heart chakra. So I'll read those to you. And the first card is, like I said, the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm Oracle, one of my most favorites by Colette Baron Reed. And you have the Altar Priestess. Preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. Ooh, that sounds like marriage too. 39, 12. 3 plus 9 equals 12, and that is a 3. So there's definitely cooperation. There's outside influences that might assist you and prepare you through the month. Family, friends, a priest, just saying. So let me read to you what the book says. Not necessarily a priest, that's a specific religion, any religion, that would have to do with a ritual of marriage. So it's an option. It's happening. The stage is set and the world is waiting for you to take your place in sacred meditation and prayer. As your ally, the altar priestess brings the ritual of reverent interaction with the mundane world. You're being required now to see everything as sacred. All of life is a meditation, and every action is a prayer of devotion. When you're able to perceive the world in this way, your question will lead you to the appropriate answer. If all is sacred, how can anything be wrong? Ask how you can shift your consciousness to see your circumstances through the eyes of the divine, and you will realize how perfect and sacred everything is right now. I get a little emotional when I read these because I resonate and love the way they word this, and I think as communicators yourself, you can appreciate what I'm saying. But I love that, and as I've mentioned a few times, I've not received that message for anyone else so far. And it does let me know that is absolutely for you as a couple and for the month of June. And then the last two beautiful messages from the Super Attractor Manifestation is, when I cultivate a spiritual connection, I can trust the universe no matter what. I did receive that recently. This is a continuum and a message that needs to be brought to everybody, but it's especially for you. And I received two, so that says something as well. And it says, when I merge, I do not ever remember reading this. I've had this deck for 6 months. I'm not lying. My memory's not great, but when I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Oh my gosh, I love that. Look at this. Whew, once again, working from the heart chakra, hugely important. You're going to feel very emotional this month. I just need you to know that. But I don't mean it in a negative, because I think emotion is so important. When we stop having that, we pretty much stop living, right? So and just embrace it, with the new moon in Cancer, which is all about emotion. That's a water sign, so it's just grabbing onto our heart and our devotion and our love for our partners, for your relationship, for your lives. And I truly hope you like and understand and resonate with this reading. So once again, thank you very much for taking the time. I love it. I love you. I appreciate you. Do take really good care of yourselves, okay? That's the most important thing. You matter. And so until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye for now.